Hey, what's up? It's Rashad Antonio. Upon further review, this is a podcast. And today, I want to talk about Godzilla, Kong, the new empire. All spoilers. Got to talk about the thing to talk about the thing. This time for real. We hadn't talked about it. So I'm going to give you my impression first, and then you can talk about it. So
Okay.
this is the worst one in the franchise.
Really?
Definitely.
Really?
I got to be honest. There's a couple of things that would have made it a lot better, but
Hmm.
they just didn't do it.
Let me
Going back
ask you a
to,
question.
go ahead, go ahead.
So something can be the worst in a franchise, but you still liked it.
It was cool. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like out of walk. It wasn't like like when I walked out of Morbius. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not that.
Okay.
Like I still appreciated the movie for what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It took me a minute to kind of recalibrate my mind to what they were doing. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Because
It
okay,
makes perfect
and
sense.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
be really honest, because this is really coming off the heels of me watching Monarch the series.
Question was because one of my I was talking about the movie today, and one of my coworkers, my producer for the show that I work on,
Yeah.
Chris, shout out to Chris. Chris was like,
Riz.
"Hey, have you seen the Monarch show?" I said, "No." I said, "My boys talked about it, some pretty good things." I said, "Did you see?" He says, "No, that's on my to-do list." I said, "Okay, cool." I said, "Well, as far as I know, it's pretty good." I said, "I'll let you know for sure."
After watching Monarch
Mm-hmm.
and then watching this okay, and this ain't even my take, but I do understand why some people said it. Like they said that this was basically this turning into like the Fast and Furious franchise. And I was like, I get that correlation because the first one, two, those were like really it took itself way more serious.
Okay.
That Godzilla 2014, directed by the
Mm-hmm.
amazing Gareth Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
That movie really went hard, for no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Skull.
saying?
And then what? Skull Island
And
was
then Skull Island, like, it was
Skull
good
Island was
too.
so good.
You know what I'm saying? Like these were like just solid movies, and like, okay,
Yeah.
this was the disconnect for me, especially after watching um Monarch, the
Question: where
series.
does Monarch lie in the monster
Monarch, it
verse?
just weaves everything together.
Okay.
So like I don't want to ruin the show for you if you ever watch it, but like it's essentially it's up until the point of the last movie. So with the
Which
last movie, so the
which
last
movie?
um
Godzilla versus
yeah,
Kong
yeah,
or
Godzilla Kong, yeah.
okay.
So basically, where that movie ends, I mean, where the movie starts is where that series ends.
Okay.
That makes sense, and it's interweaving all the movies together.
So if I
So it's like
can't give
flashbacks and
so if I had to give it a correlation, would you say similar to the final season of Clone Wars, what it did with episode 3, kind of tying a lot of stuff, weaving in that
yes,
stuff
you can
that
say
every
that.
okay.
You can say that.
Okay.
Now, this like imagine that. Plus, they had like flashbacks of like 20, 30 years ago in it
Okay.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, so it does a really good job of just explaining the entire mythos of Monarch and the monsters in general.
Okay. Okay.
So, and that show it's like a serious show. And I think the element that's missing to me is just there's no gravity to it. And I don't mean like the lack of gravity in Hollow Earth either. At times. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, just like there's no weight to it. Like, for example, when like they're like people, I'm sure there are hundreds of thousands of people that die in this movie because they tore some cities up. And you know what they
I see
didn't
what you
do?
mean.
They ain't talking about none of that.
I
It
see
was
what you
like,
mean.
yeah, that's so that
Everything this movie came off kind of like a comedy, but not really. If it did, because it was a lot of jokes, it was a lot of joking, it was a lot of fun loving stuff, and it wasn't I can see what you mean by that, especially with the previous MonsterVerse movies where there was like a, you know, when it came to Godzilla, it was like, hey, yo, this dude got to chill. We got to find a way to do this. Or else, even in Kong Skull Island, they go to this island, and you remember that face off with Samuel L. Jackson on the helicopter at Kong, and you know, and then Godzilla, King of the Monsters, you know, saying good, you know, King Ghidorah coming, you know, realizing that King Ghidorah was an alien, you know, wasn't of this planet. And, you know, at the end of the movie, you see all the other Titans like bowing down before Godzilla, realizing that he
The
is him,
apex.
the apex, and you know, and then of course in Godzilla versus Kong, you know, Kong, you know, it's just the battle that they thought was going to eventually happen, and it did, along with, you know, taking the tech from King Ghidorah to make Mecha Godzilla. This one here, I see what you mean, didn't really have, for all intents and purposes, I liked it for all intents and purposes, but
Yeah, it was. I had fun with it. You know what I'm
but
saying?
I see what you mean by there wasn't no like real like, yo, we got to find a way to contain these mugs because they are really, because for real, man, Godzilla, the definition of Godzilla is on sight for real. This dude is just ready to rumble on sight. Anybody who he feels is a threat to his you know, a threat to the domain or whatever. And I don't know if the show explains it or not, Rashad, like why he just wants to fight all the other Titans or whatever.
Not
You
really.
know, because it's like Godzilla doesn't know. How did they explain it in the movie? It's see, now you got me thinking. You really got me thinking, because how they explain it in the movie is that the Titans kind of like protect the Earth, but the great apes protect humanity. Was that
Something like that.
which is
That's
weird.
kind of how it felt. Okay, so
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, man. I didn't
no,
mean to
no, no,
cut you
no,
off.
no, no. It's fine because I want you to like have a fully fleshed thought,
Okay.
because the movie, and this is another thing I saw too. This is not really my take. Matter of fact, shout out to Rockstars. They was like, can a movie still be good if it doesn't make sense? And that's kind of where like I kind of was. I'm like, yo, like I'm feeling parts, I'm feeling elements of this, but the parts that I don't like. Oh, matter of fact,
Mm-hmm.
tonally, this movie really shifted into like, you know, the fantastic, even more fantastical than a huge ape and a very, you know, irradiated Tyrannosaurus Rex. Like it got more fantastical than that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And again, tonally is what I kind of messed me up, because I was expecting at least for it's just to be, how can I say this? I feel like people was in different movies as they were playing these roles.
Okay.
Like the white lady with the indigenous child, they
Mm-hmm.
was clearly in a different movie. Trapper, our fun loving 80s rock metal white dude, he was definitely in a different movie.
You know what he was giving me? He was giving me oh god, what's the not Michael Douglas Jewel of the Nile vibes or whatever, you know, from the 80s, those type of like the fun-loving white adventurer dude, you know what I'm saying? Adventurer dude who, you know, he makes jokes and everything like that. He finds a way to use his MacGyverism, as I like to call it, to get his way out of a situation, you know. And I see what you mean by that, you know. And it's just the fact that he just I, he's so in touch and one with the earth and hollow earth that he knows stuff that nobody really should be knowing.
Nah. Um I mean, and that's the part for me that kind of like really, that okay. I hate the phrase where people like, yeah, you know, just go to the movies, turn your brain off. Like, I'm too smart to be turning my brain off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't mean to sound condescending to you people who can do that, but I can't do that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's something, I mean, that's just how we've been able to survive this long in America, being able to read out situations and think on the fly. And you know what I'm saying, and really kind of figure out what's going on. And when stuff don't make sense, like that's when I either try to make it make sense or I leave. And since
Okay.
this was just a movie, I paid money for it. I'm going to stay and try to figure it out. And
Mm-hmm.
it just wasn't. It just some of the stuff just wasn't making sense. Like there was a lot of hand wavy things that I think that they tried to explain, but when they explained it, it just got worse. like like Godzilla getting his Infinity Gauntlet. Like the explanation they gave for that just was like, oh, we was after Mecha Godzilla, we was saying, hey, we need to come and try to make our own thing as well.
Right.
And they was trying to make like
Mecha Kong,
a mech Kong,
and it just wasn't
and they
working.
was like, and then the government was like, we shutting your program down, but they still had like pieces of it left, and they just happened to bring it to Hollow Earth. Like they was just making Mecha Kong and Hollow, like this one,
Yeah.
like what?
Yeah.
And then they have these like ships or whatever that are just so.
Oh, the camouflage.
Nah, I'm talking about the joint that put the gauntlet on his hand.
Yeah, it's
The
just
strapper
so.
flew and it just was like, hi, here you go. And it just like, transform it on, you know what I'm saying, for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it just was no problem. That, another thing too. All right. I'm going to talk about all the stuff I hated at first because I just got to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
Tony,
I think I know what you're about to say, but go ahead.
yo, the beginning of the movie, this bastard had a bad tooth.
I knew that's what you was going with.
I was like, yo, we really out here about to give this man a gold tooth
gave
because
him gave him a fang of a front a grill. Gave him a grill.
you man, your man got a grill. He got an implant. He got a
He got an
gold
implant.
implant. Like back
Yeah.
in the day, take
Back
the
in the
real
day.
teeth out, put
Uh-huh.
golds in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying, girl? Yeah, look at Kong. Kong got here.
So let me tell you, right? So in that movie, in that part of the movie, when the movie was going on, and then he bit into whatever he bit in, it's that piece of jackal, whatever it hollow earth jackal tiger thing or whatever. And he went like that. I said, got a bad tooth or something? And then he goes like that. I said, this is what we doing. That's all I can say was this is what we doing. My man actually had a bad tooth. And for all intents and purposes, Khan went to the dentist. He
So
he he knew enough to be like, hey, this ain't hurt. I'm feeling a little sick. Let me go on back up top real quick and let these dang old nosy ass humans go ahead and hook me up real quick.
Tony, Tony. Gia was like, "Oh my god," the little
Yeah, she was. He's
the
hurt.
he's hurt. She out there drawing pictures and the whole nine, like it, like okay, so all right, let's get to that.
Let's get to the start of this movie.
All right, so quick
Yeah,
overview. Um,
yeah.
this is 3 years, by the way. 3 years later,
Mm-hmm.
they figured out that Godzilla needs to be on Earth, Kong needs to be in Hollow Earth, so these bastards won't be fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We
So that's
got
basically their God's Earth. The top world is Godzilla's domain, and Hollow Earth is Kong's domain. This is their truce. We ain't gonna invade each other's domain or whatever.
mhm.
Bet. Cool.
They have a Monarch outpost is in the Hollow Earth. They get this
Mm-hmm.
unidentified signal. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? This signal is this signal is making Gia have Stranger Thing type drawings from your boy season one. What's his name?
I know what you. I can't think of that damn weird ass kid name or whatever.
She was on the she had her man. I had her girl in class, and she was just going off. So imagine the girl who cannot speak just making random pictures, drawing all on her desk, books everywhere, the same three things.
Can we talk about how trash her teacher is though too? Talk about how trash her teacher is. And then they had to make me a black one, but how trash her teacher. This chick here. So she has her little episode. She has an episode.
A little episode?
Well, I ain't gonna say a little episode. She has a major episode in the back in the class. Like she's like it's just drawing on paper, drawing on her desk, and it's like flashing. They showing all these flashes and stuff. I mean, that's what she was doing, Rashad.
Oh god!
Doing all this, and when she comes out of it, the entire class is looking at her like, "The hell is wrong with this little mute girl over here, or this mute child right here that can't speak?" And she has like these three like peaks on her desk or whatever. So they call her adoptive mother, you know what I'm saying, the white chick or whatever. I can't think of her name. And the teacher tells her, yeah, she may be a genius, but she needs to be able to interact. Lady, what are you talking about? And then the white lady had to let her know. She was like, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing, miss. Not only she's the only surviving person of her culture. She is her culture. She's the only, that is it. It's just her. She's the only one that has her culture. And this lady is just like, well, maybe she's just not cut out for this or whatever. And it got nothing to do with cutting out for it. It's like, hey, there's certain people you might have to make some type of, what's the word I'm looking for, Rashad?
Accommodations.
Thank you. Accommodations for. Guess what? Rashad teaches. I used to teach. You know what the thing is? It's called an IPA. IAP report or what? I said IPA like a beer.
Like a beer.
It's an IAP report. But when you're a teacher, whatever you get an IAP report. You look and it said like certain kids have it. Where be like, hey, this kid may need some extra attention. This kid may do better in groups. This kid, needs another person in the room with them to teach stuff like that. Hey, that's what it takes. But yeah, that part right there pissed me off because I was like, this lady is trying to. She said the girl is a genius, and no matter how smart she is or whatever. But yeah,
and this is one of those things where like me being an actual educator, this kind of pisses me off. It's like very tone deaf to actually what's going on now, and it's just in service to move the plot for yada yada, whatever. All right, so
go ahead.
The next three scenes, like, is just kind of goofy. She ends up seeing the whole thing. She tells her superiors, and they're like, "Girl, I don't care nothing about these drawings and your crazy daughter." So she goes to Brian Tyree Henry's character, and this dude's still running his podcast, bro. Like, your man saved the world, and he's still running his pod, like, with no sponsorship.
Because like, bro, like. They didn't give him no credit.
Get that black man no credit. He was running around Apex and the whole nine, and was like, nah, yo. Yeah. So goes and sees him, and he's like, oh yeah. So ends up trying to figure out what's going on. And he says, look, anytime the things happen, it's been like a major event, and they match up the peaks or whatever. He finagles his way to go down to the to Hollow Earth. Also, did you realize that the Irish dude is also the same dude from Andor?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So he makes a very quick appearance, and so okay. This is another stupid thing too. I noticed they're supposed to have crews go down there. You know what I'm saying? It's just them. Nobody else went down there. I'm like, they didn't have no sort of B team or C team to help them. It was like, oh man, create a team to go down there, and it was just one person with a gun, a veterinarian, a podcaster, a white lady who understands Kong, and this girl essentially, and that's it.
You want to know what else I had a problem with? They have a Titan outpost there. There was only like 4 damn people in this damn outpost in a inside of Hollow Earth, which is actually like in the center of Earth or like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they sat there and said, well, we've only mapped out 5% of Hollow Earth. You map out 5%, and you're only gonna have 4 people down there. Make it make sense, Rashad. You're not gonna have more people. You're not gonna have somewhat of a not a military. I know Monarch isn't part of government, but a security force down
Tony,
there like that.
and let's just say they've been down there for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How do they even know it's only 5%? Like, again, the stuff that don't when the humans talk, that's when the movie loses me. Like, y'all bastards just should have shut up and let the monsters fight. This would have been a better movie. Yeah. Anyway, but on the Hollow Earth, your the Irish dude gets snuffed quick. I mean, the tree ate his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, oh snap!
Hey, I jumped. I ain't gonna lie, I jumped to whatever. I was like, good. I said, son is about to get him. Son is about to get him. I was expecting some type of like Hollow Earth, like beast we ain't ever seen before. No, it was got eaten by a Venus flytrap.
That was a tree. You know what I'm saying?
A tree, a Venus tree trap. That's what he got killed. Yeah, real good.
Ate him. So they end up just going down there and like stumbling upon some stuff, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, that's another thing that kind of pissed me off too. Okay. Like they was doing this intercutting with Godzilla, and Godzilla is just like on the prowl,
tweaking.
Your man is like just going around, just randomly devastating things, eating nuclear items.
Question: did they ever? Okay, number one, I didn't know it was that many Titans, and it's a whole lot more out there that's on the Earth, that's on that's in the surface.
Yeah,
like, and so when we see the start too of the movie as well, Godzilla fights one of the Titans, what, Scylla or something like that in Rome.
Yeah.
And I was just like, so why are they fighting? Is it because God, like, I'm just not understanding the purpose. It never fully explains it. It's like Godzilla runs Scylla fade, kills him, and then possibly the funniest trash to be throughout the whole movie, Godzilla's like, all right, I'm gonna go take a nap.
In the middle of the Colosseum
in Rome. That is now his domain. He just like, yeah, coils up. And the thing is funny though, like the lady was like, the Italian government like, hey, yo, can we get this dude out of here? Like, this is a track. And it was like, hey, man, he just saved the city. No, he destroyed half the city. Like, he just goes back to the Colosseum. It takes a nap. But it's like Godzilla naps until he senses something is about to pop off and be like, all right, let me go rumble with these niggas real quick. Yeah, let me go run these fade, and I'm gonna come on back to my little Coliseum hole and take a nap or whatever. So yeah, like I said, I didn't know it was that many Titans out there. And then number two, I didn't know, Rashad, like I said, whether if it explains in Monarch or whatever, why are they just rumbling like this? Because if you remember at the end of Godzilla, King of the Monsters, you saw these monsters come out and they bowed to this nigga like, yo, we you know what I'm saying, respect. We know who you know what I'm saying, you are him, as the kids say now. You are he, him, and everything above, so that's what I'm just kind of confused with in that.
Yeah, me too. I mean, because essentially their reasoning was like, yo, Godzilla, because also he attacks the French nuclear plant and starts feeding on that. And it was like, oh, well, he got to be powering up for something crazy about to happen.
Yeah, they said because he wakes up. He wakes up because of those like signals that are coming, those harmonic symbols or whatever that's happening. Godzilla wakes up and he senses something is about to go down. He goes to a French nuclear base and like drains it completely. And they're like, yo, what is he doing? And like Monarch sent their little security team out. They said, hey, yo, this whole place is irradiated. We got to get out of here right now or whatever. So Godzilla like drinks up all the radiation and then gets back in the water And they're like, yo, where he going? And they said, oh, he's going into Tiamat's domain. I'm like, who the hell is Tiamat? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, who the hell is Tiamat? And why is that? And like, they seem like that is a big deal. That's Tiamat's domain. And apparently Tiamat holds radiation too. And where he or she, whatever, their layer is what in the art is that the Arctic or in the
Yes,
Arctic
yeah.
has like a lot of radiation. Godzilla goes there, runs Tiamat's fade, kills it, and you just see all the blood just come up from the water, and then goes into the layer and just chills and just charges up until he becomes Super Saiyan Rose. Godzilla Rose up in that daggone Jane.
He sure does. And the funny thing is like, how you gonna kill somebody and sleep in their bed? You know what I'm saying? It's like the most
so disrespectful.
It's like the most dangerous game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Kill this dude and was like, "Ooh, your bed look real cozy.
I like it here.
I like it here.
I'm gonna chill for a little while.
Then nuzzle up.
Nice place you got, buddy. Anyway, so back in Hollow Earth, you know what I'm saying? Back in Hollow Earth. So they're oh my God, Tony.
Was it?
The,
What was
the
it?
humans,
A sinkhole or something?
Yeah, sinkhole. The humans ruined this movie. All right. Matter of fact, let's okay. I'm sorry. Let's Kong. So Kong is down there, and he ends up. Okay, oh yeah, forgot at the beginning of the movie, like there's some the jackals. You see him like setting traps stuff. So like Kong is like he's gaining some intelligence. He's starting to figure out like let me work smart and hard out here, which is good for him. And Kong is going off, you know what I'm saying, by himself, just looking around. And he goes into subterranean Hollow Earth, as it was called.
So another level of Hollow
Earth. Yeah. So Hollow Earth, below Hollow Earth. Yeah. And he sees some other primates. And Kong is like, cousin. And they like, kill this bastard.
They like, cousins. Like, yo, hey, jump that nigga. That's what they was like. Yo. He was like, because he was excited, saw the smile on his face, like, because he saw that little mini primate or whatever. And he was like,
bastard.
That little mother. He sees him and he's like, hey, little Kong is like, hey, little fella, how you doing? What's going on? That little bastard will bite Kong's finger. He like, you little mother. He like slaps the kid away, and then that's when the other like jump his ass. They just there go jump. They started jumping Kong, and Kong beat up every last one of their asses.
Kong used that little boy.
He did.
As a nunchuck.
Yo, I was like, they really showed this little mini primate in the movie like it was going to be a big part. And I was like, is he about to kill this little thing? He was using he took like a bolo whip and just started slapping.
Yo, he's slinging that bastard around, yo. I was like, this is so disrespectful. Like, could have killed that thing, man. Like, come on, yo. Like,
yeah,
he's a young primate.
And by the way, Kong still has his Godzilla fintail axe too. By the way,
yeah, still got his axe. You know what I'm saying? They tried to run him for his axe, and then for some reason, Godzilla was like, "Hey, since you are the youngest one, I'm still gonna try to look out."
Show me where y'all at.
Leads his bastard to where they stay. I'm like, I said, why are you walking with him, Kong? Like, the dude just led you to getting jumps, and now you're gonna just walk him to where y'all stay? I said,
don't forget that little bastard set him up to get attacked in the river too. Remember?
Yes, yeah. Knew the whole daggone thing. Whatever that monster was in there.
Yeah, you know it was like a giant like snake eel or something, wolf head's eel or something like that.
It was
the little thing gonna get inside the. He's like, I know what's. That kid was like, I know what's in here. And then he gets in there and like, hey, let's get a little sip of water here, buddy.
Like, I know you're thirsty. You just slung me around. I'm thirsty. How about you?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Parched there. Look, and Kong is he's slurping up. That kid sitting there looking like, oh, there it is. Any minute now.
Let me back up. Let me back up. Let me back up.
Uh-huh.
This best up in the trees by the time.
Yeah. That damn thing came and jumped on Kong, and that kid started hauling ass. We don't see what happens to it. All we see is that Kong chucks the daggone head of this thing at the kid. That kid should have CTE right now, by the way, by this point. It hits the kid in the head, and then Kong coming dragging the rest of that carcass. That kid is like, hey, pick that fish head up. Let's go on.
I know you're hungry. Get some of this.
Going.
Some of this fish steak. You know what I'm saying? So right. Go to the lair. And it's looking very slavery-ish, to say the least. Man's hitting the whole he-ho. They like, just slinging rocks. And I ain't talking about crack either. They literal rocks. And I'm like, what are y'all doing, yo? Like, it seems so redundant.
Right. And then you had one of the primates basically gave out, was like, hey, I can't do this no more, like collapses. And then one of the, I hate to say this, overseer apes.
Yeah, there you go.
Overseer apes goes over and like starts smacking and kicking. And the thing is, Kong has shown this kid kindness throughout this whole thing, because this kid is only known like, hey, get it while you get it any way you can, or whatever, violence and stuff. And Kong is about to go over there and stuff. The kid is like holding his hand, like, no, hey, yo, chill, my man. No, this is what it is. And Kong like pushes the kid out the way and slaps around. And no, he didn't slap him around. So he goes over there, and Kong rolls up like, hey, yo, man, what the hell you doing? And this ape is talking like great apish to it and going on like rah and all this stuff. How many times have we seen something like this happen in real life, Rashad, in fights or whatever? So going rah, doing all this stuff and everything. And like, what you gonna do? Basically what he was saying, Kong said, yeah! One hitter quitter. Knock this monkey out cold. Yeah, hilarious. And the look on everybody, all the other apes' faces was like,
oh, snap.
Oh.
Who's your boy?
Who's your boy? Who's your boy? No, it's the fact that I was doing all this stuff like, hey, whatever, going off. Boop. I ain't seen a one-hitter quitter like that since like Mike Tyson back in the day, yo. He knocked that thing out cold. And then what happened? One of the other guards see this happens.
Oh, he said, oh, no, I got to sell.
He said, oh, no. We got a problem. So next thing you know, you just, did they blow a horn or something like that?
Oh, no.
It was something.
But he went and ran.
My man was sitting in that chair. It's like, the hell you coming in here? Oh. So we got us a problem.
We got a visitor, huh?
Got a visitor, huh? Man. You saw a way all them other apes drop down to their knee.
So
and
fast.
They drop down to their knee so bad. And out comes the Skar King.
Skar King, which is a really weird name. It's like almost like I'm going to take the Lion King, drop Lion, and put Scar in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Had the Skar King.
No, we're going to call him Kang. Skar
King. Yeah.
He comes out there with his little bone bolo whip thing looking. And this is the best part, too. Another funny part. He started playing in Kong's face. He starts playing. He sees Kong, and he like, who the hell are you coming down here starting all this nonsense type stuff? And then he put his finger in Kong's mouth to flip up his gums to see the fake tooth. And they started laughing. He was like, this man's here, and they started laughing, and then the other gorilla apes, they started laughing out of fear, like, yeah,
it's crazy, ain't it?
It's crazy. You're a funny dude. And then Kong's sitting there looking like Kong is stoic as hell, just like, hey man, what you trying to do? And then what happens is Kong thought he was gonna run that fade. He wasn't ready for what Skar King had for.
Oh, no.
Skar King was doing some old capoeira type moves and everything. He was cartwheeling all over. Kong was like, the hell is going on? the hell is going on right here? And then he pulled out the bone bolo whip and started. He cut Kong's hand. Kong was like, "What the?" And they sitting there rumbling. And then Kong did pop off a shot once. And then and Skar King was like, "All right, oh, I see what you're trying to do here." And then he waved his hand, and they opened up like the lava curtain, and you see, I said, "Yo, what else is about to come out this thing to get Kong?" And we get introduced. Was it Shimu?
Yeah, Shima.
Shima. We get introduced to Shima. Shima is like a dragon dog or something like that. A giant dragon, like it's big enough where one of those apes can ride it, but it's like a dragon type thing. And looking.
Yeah. It's definitely like definitely a dragon.
Yeah, definitely dragging it. And at first I was like, yo, is this like a cousin of Godzilla? No, not, because here's the thing. This apparently this thing is the reason why the Ice Age happened, because it breathes ice. Because it breathes ice. And in Skar King, they refer to Godzilla as the Star Eater because of the powers and stuff that it had. And the thing is, Skar is controlling it by, I guess, is it like a piece of,
I don't know, some sort of crystal,
some type
that
of
he
crystal,
has, like
at the end of his bolo whip,
and it activates some. It's again,
it causes pain to Shimu, and Shimu is doing it because it's like, all right, dude, whatever you want or whatever. But once again, something that's not fully really explained real often. And Shimu and Skar King proceed to run Kong's fade. They give Kong frostbite.
So his whole hand was like froze. He the Jones like, oh
yeah,
the man went limp.
Yeah, he had frostbite.
And that daggone that little
bastard baby Kong,
little bastard baby ape Suko, his name is Suko. Suko was like, you need to get out of here.
He was pointing like, this way, my G, this way, get out of here.
Get out. You know what I'm saying? I should never let you come here. This was a mistake. And
then Skar King sends the goons after him.
The goons get murked real quick. Suko does help him. You know what I'm saying? We start to realize, like, look, okay, this guy can actually take us and be our savior for real. Yeah. You just need some help. So yeah.
Let's go back to the worst part of this movie again, the humans.
The people.
So in Hollow Earth, you got these people now. You got, what was it, Trapper, Gia's stepmother,
Andrews,
and what's my man name? Podcast dude, I can't think his name right now.
Brian Tyree Henry.
Yeah, Brian Tyree, whatever. Fasto, we call it.
That's funny.
Paperboy. This is Paperboy from Atlanta.
Paperboy
from Atlanta. So they're searching, and they get to a point in Hollow Earth. Were they in Hollow Earth yet? They was in Hollow Earth where Gia is like noticing, like, hey, this looks mad familiar. And then Dr. Andrews looks and is like, oh my God, this is her tribe's like architecture and like
writing
and stuff. And Trapper's like, I thought you said they was extinct. She's like, yeah, but this stuff is older than what's on Kong Island. Like this is predating Kong Island. So these motherfuckers been around for a long time. And so Gia's like noticing some stuff, and she's like, and there's like a barrier type thing. And she just rips the barrier open and it's like, hey, come on, let's go. She's like, let's go. And Trapper, Dr. Andrews are like, yeah. Of course, the black guy's gonna be the black guy. He paused and waited and was like, I don't know about this right here. Like, and then he finally was like, well, I might as well, if I'm gonna die with them. I'm not gonna die by myself. So they go inside this barrier, and it's like this angelic, like crystal, like city type thing going on, and they see other people of Gia's tribe, and they don't speak like her, but they're communicating with each other, and kind of find out they can communicate telepathically. Wow. Just, like they're communicating telepathically. So the thing is, they can't communicate with the other humans, but they understand everything they're saying to these people because they're reading their minds and stuff. Yeah. And they try to like use like a form of sign language to understand, but Gia can understand because she can communicate with them. And they start talking, and they go through a prophecy where they're saying that a child that is the last survivor of Skull Island is going to, set them free.
Trash.
And set them free.
So trash.
And like kind of like, because the whole area is set up like a temple because they worship Mothra. I was like, okay, cool. I thought Mothra died.
Me too.
I thought Mothra died at Godzilla King of the and the monsters. I know that Mothra had laid some eggs, but maybe that wasn't, so they got some, but maybe that wasn't the main Mothra, because Mothra is the queen of the monsters, kind of like, I guess you could say Godzilla's wife, kind of type.
I don't know.
It's never fully explained. And so that's what they're saying, that she is the one that's supposed to set Mothra free to help them out. And on top of that, that's when they tell the story of what happened with the Skar King, where he was they say that the Titans ruled the actual planet, but the great apes protected humans. That's why you see like Kong has an affinity for, for humans in general and stuff. But they said one great ape went rogue, which was the Skar King, and Skar King, took control of Shimu, and the Skar King tried to invade the surface world, but the Star Eater, which is Godzilla, basically blew them bastards into hollow earth, and then like locked them, down there. And now they want to come out. And the thing is that the indigenous people down there, they knew that once Kong came down there, that hey, something might pop off. So they were the ones sending these signals through, because of the sound waves and the frequencies and stuff, to get some help down there, to be like, help us, because it's about to go down here in this type of situation. And Gia finds out that she had said earlier in the show, she doesn't know where she belongs, especially with the school stuff that happened. And the doctor Andrews is nervous because she sees Gia is doing so well down there with her people, and she's like, man, this kid is going to want to leave me, and this good blah stuff for what, stuff or whatever. In the meantime, little was it Suko helps Kong, gets to where how did Kong know these people were at is just beyond me, by the way.
I mean, I'm guessing because
I think they say he sensed
his telepathic connection
with Gia. Okay, cool.
With Gia, with
Gia. And he gets there, and he like collapses, and they see his arm, and then that's when we see the ridiculousness of Trapper going back to the base to get the little,
get the gauntlet,
the Infinity Gauntlet for Kong. And then they were like, Kong, what was it? My man was like, hey man, what the hell is Kong doing? And they was like, well, we surmise that Kong is trying to go get Godzilla to help, because Godzilla senses some stuff is about to pop off. And it was like, well, yeah, the last time them two met up, Kong almost died. And yes, Kong got his ass beat in Godzilla in Godzilla versus King Kong. So Kong knows that, hey, I need to get this dude attention. So he goes through one of the portals to go to the top, to the surface world. And in the meantime, while that's going on, Gia is going to summon Mothra, and Mothra comes out of an egg or whatever. But on the top world, that's when it gets funny to me. Kong is there. He summons Godzilla. Godzilla sees Kong, and Godzilla's like, "Didn't I tell you, boy? Don't come up here." You saw Kong go like, "Hold on, Jack. Did you notice that?" He was like,
"Yo."
Rashad was like, "Yo, chill.
I just want to talk."
Godzilla, he was like, "Yo, chill," and he was trying to point. Godzilla was like, "No." Godzilla was like, Kong was like, "Oh man."
Kong said, "Look, man, we in Egypt, we by the pyramids, we trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, preserve these, like, you know, one of the 7 wonders in the world."
They said F those Godzilla said F those pyramids of Giza.
And commenced to just fire breathing all of them into rubble.
And did you notice too that the pyramids, those 3 pyramids, are in the same position as the 3 like little pillar pyramids down there? Okay, whatever.
Good catch.
Good catch on that. I will say this. They had a little mini fight. King Kong kind of got it back in blood. He got his get back because a little bit, because he did knock Godzilla out for a second with his gauntlet hand. And remember, he was just going to drag his ass down. That Godzilla came to and was like, "Oh no, it ain't over yet." Kong was like, "Come on, bro, I'm just." And so they sitting there and they about to, and Godzilla, like he was about to do his favorite finishing move where he holds the dude down and about to blow him away. But Mothra comes, communicates to Godzilla like, "No, he's here to help," type thing or whatever. By the way, they don't talk English or anything, but this is what I'm guessing what happened.
No. That's definitely what happened. That's the only thing that could have happened.
Yeah. And in the process while this is going on, the Skar King and his goons, they roll up on the barrier. Rashad is fussing his dog out.
Sorry. Rashad. I thought I put on mute.
I just heard, no, you did, but I heard you say shut. I heard the bark. I heard you say shut.
Like you barking for no reason. Ain't nobody outside, man. I'm gonna put you back in the crate. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So Skar King and his goons roll up on the barrier that the what they call the Iwi people.
Yeah, the Iwi. Yeah,
the Iwi are or whatever, and they're trying to get in because they know that there are portals to go up to the top land. They bust through, but then next thing you know, here comes the tag team of all tag teams. Godzilla and King Kong are like the monster versions of to my wrestling fans out there, and people ain't wrestling fans, they know the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors. They came through that portal, and that's when you saw Godzilla full sprint. You saw Kong coming, and at one point, didn't Kong get on Godzilla back or something?
He did.
He got on Godzilla back like, "Hey, buddy."
And then Skar King got on Shimo back too.
Yeah, I
was like, look at this, riding them like dogs. This is so interesting.
And they proceeded to have a good old fashioned little Donnybrook. They fought, and they did something. The Iwi did something too to cause gravity in their area to non-exist.
Because that was one of those things where like they were moving locations and they were moving things based on like their manipulation of gravity or whatever.
Yeah.
But they was like, how do they move these large blocks? Yada yada.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like this. And then they did that down there, and then everybody's moving up, and they still and the Skar King and Shimo still end up going to
the top side,
going up top. You know what I'm saying? And this part right here is just so funny to me. So
he's about to get ready to start another Ice Age.
So he gets on top, and
Skar King said, "Hey, give me that ice, baby." It started. She was like, "Why?" And it starts to hit the ice,
spraying the atmosphere, trying to cover the sun up. And again, the part that pissed me off is like we're not showing nobody the gravity of the situation because people just chill on the beach, just like mind their business, living their lives, and
then they proceed to destroy. What were they in Brazil? They proceed to destroy Rio de Janeiro.
I mean that crushed the middle of the city, man. It was like fighting dead in the center of the city. They did the same. They almost did the same thing in Cairo too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was like, yo,
This was worse though.
we're gonna destroy the pyramids. They destroyed Rio. There had to have been hundreds of thousands of people who died.
The last time Rio got ran through like that was actually Fast and the Furious 6 when Dom and Paul Walker took those two chargers and tied it to the back of that deco, tied to that safe in there, and ran it through the city. That's the last time Rio got destroyed. Rio de Janeiro got destroyed like that. And then the ridiculous thing that happened, and it's the ridiculous thing that happened. Was it Kong steals on Skar King and knocks his tooth out? I said, so we going back to the tooth gag, huh? The tooth bit. Going back to the tooth bit. Knocks his tooth out. And little Suko helps Kong by bringing his axe up to him in the surface world, charge it up with Godzilla, and they basically kill
Skar King.
They kill Skar King because they was able to break the little control wand thing or whatever. And Skar King was trying to get Shibu to help him, like, hey, help. Shibu was like, and it was like, hey, my man, you ain't gotta do what this mofo say no more. Let's
you gonna get your get back right now while we at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And all three of them.
This part, they daggone did your man like Mortal Kombat, like Radiant. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like Sub-Zero. My bad. They Sub-Zero that boy.
Yeah. They like
it's like
they froze him.
It's
they
like,
took him and
it's
they
like fatality.
Yeah. You just see his eye there moving the Kong hand up to his eye moving and just killed him, ripped his head off or something like that.
Your man just went exploding everywhere. Yeah. I was like, that.
So then the ending of the movie is even more weirder. So in the movie is even more weird. So Godzilla stays up top. He goes back to the Coliseum where he goes and takes another nap.
He went. He like a cat just go and like curls up in the Coliseum again.
Takes a nap. Kong and Suko, they head back to the sub-Saharan, whatever they call it.
Sub-Saharan.
I don't know, whatever. Whatever it's
subterranean,
called. Subterranean
Hollow Earth.
Subterranean Hollow Earth. Whatever. They go back riding on Shimu, and the other great apes be like, "Oh snap, y'all got rid of that problematic one, cool." And he's basically there to kind of like be the new leader of their tribe or whatever. And I guess Suko is going to be trained or be like the next savior of the great apes because you also saw that Suko's, I don't know if that was his mother or his father, got thrown in some lava.
King or whatever. Definitely kill his dad. You know what I'm saying?
His dad or whatever.
Oh, you did this? Y'all did this?
Yeah.
Don't need you no more.
And so then you see where Dr. Andrews she comes to the idea that, hey, Gia might want to stay down there. Gia might want to stay down there. She says, hey, I get it. This is where you want to go, blah, 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 blah. You want to stay. She's like, the hell are you talking about? She was like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, I figured, you said you don't have a place. And she was like, no, you sat there and said it. Where you are and where I am, that's home or whatever. We good. I can come back and visit this place anytime I want. She was like, hey, I done got used to those modern day amenities. I ain't trying to come back to this nonsense, right? I ain't trying to come back to this nonsense or whatever. And that's how the movie ends.
Simple. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. No post credit.
This movie had a runtime of 1 hour and 55 minutes. And
it felt longer.
It did. I don't know why it felt longer, but like it was under 2 hours, which is kind of unheard of for one of these movies of this type in this day and age. I had a lot of mixed feelings when I left the theater about this. Mm-hmm. And just kind of talking over it with you right now. I actually saw, and I usually don't do this, but I actually watched a couple of reviews, and just to kind of gauge how other people are feeling too. Mm-hmm. Another thing that I did not really like was it's like this like native people's trope Like, yo, that was so unnecessary. Y'all said these bastards was dead. There was no real need. There was no real
Really wasn't.
need to have them down there as the mechanism of, oh, like, we need help. You know what I'm saying? Because
These people
who
can communicate telepathically. They're a little bit, and they were able to create these sound effects helps using nature and stuff.
and
They're a little bit more
stone and like just like like
yeah,
crystals and it's out
and they
here.
can manipulate the gravity. They're a little bit more advanced than we are.
That's what I'm saying. Like there was no like, yo, like if anything, they probably will be helping us. So
Yeah.
I didn't like that part was like, okay, like I see what they're trying to do with that whole inclusion, the whole thing. Also, I didn't like how Brian, what's Brian sorry? Oh yeah, Bernie.
Yeah, burn.
Bernie let Trapper talk him out of telling the look, yo, like there's a whole lot of stuff down here. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have got his shine for real, but of course,
Yeah.
the white man says, look, y'all already know what happens when white people figure out there's some new stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And he made a point. I give it to you. Trapper made a point, but you took away the shine from Bernie.
Yeah. Now he gets to go back home to his crappy apartment right beside the daggone Chinese food restaurant. You know what I'm saying? And just, spew off quote unquote Titan theories. Because look, before you
Because
even
you
say
know
that,
Monarch is not going to hire this dude to be
they
like
should have hired him already.
right. They're
You
not
know what
going
I'm
to hire him to
saying?
be a specialist.
Because now like he can't even run like a good grift because he knows everything already. Like he really knows what's going on, but he has to act like he doesn't know what's going on just so he can keep his podcast running, which is ridiculous. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So what grade would you give this?
On a scale of what? Is letter
A letter
or
grade.
letter grade? Man.
I'm a C.
C minus.
I can see the C. I'm giving it a C.
Yeah, this is a strong C minus for me. And if I keep on talking about it, it's gonna be a strong D plus. Like this is definitely a C minus. Like the parts that we already talked about that we didn't like, there's so like the dialogue between characters outside of just like the fun stuff, like the quips and everything, like those is cool. But like when they start to try to tell me the mechanics of this thing, it just all falls apart. And
only reason I say a C because there were some scenes that I did like, and most of the scenes I did like did not involve people. Like I like the scene in the beginning when Kong ripped that hyena type thing in half, and he ended up taking a shower because he was covered in guts and entrails.
He was like, "Oh, why did I do this? This was
like,
such a stupid idea."
You see him go and take a shower it off type thing, type thing or whatever. But yeah, I give it a C. So my next question for you, Rashad, before we close out, where do we go from here in the MonsterVerse?
That's a good question because
there's like what they said there are 19 known Titans. That's what they said.
Yeah, really probably
in the movie. 19 known Titans and
really
probably
really 17 now,
17 right? Now because Scylla died. And Scylla got killed by Godzilla, and Tiamat got killed by Godzilla. So where do we go? Where do we go from here? Because it seems as if I don't want to say they brought King Ghidorah in too soon. You know what I'm saying? Because King Ghidorah was considered the, what I'm saying? Because King Ghidorah is the only one that's really kicked Godzilla's ass or whatever in this thing. King Ghidorah, as they said, wasn't of this planet. Was basically an alien, extraterrestrial Titan or whatever. So where do we go from here?
I don't know. And as I was thinking about that, like when I like just kind of was pondering, talking about this, I don't have a clear path for where this could go because we already see that Godzilla is peak. Like nobody's messing with Godzilla. That's one, especially like of all the Titans on Earth. Now, the only thing I could see, unless they have some sort of like Ghidorah like thing comes to Earth and just start murking Titans, and then like Either Godzilla has to deal with it. Matter of fact, okay, this will be a good movie. So we have another Ghidorah-like alien come to Earth, winning retribution. Here's the thing: there's something that happens with the Hollow Earth that's closed off, and Kong can't come to the surface. We have to nerf somebody, and it's only Godzilla. You know what I'm saying? And like Ghidorah is murking Titans one by one. Kong can't fly. Ghidorah can. So he's going around the earth just killing everybody until he can get to have that 1v1 with Godzilla. And then that'd be that'd be the fight. And I ain't talking about no Ex Machina all of a sudden. Godzilla and all his little, the great apes come through at the end. I mean, it's like knockdown, drag down fight. You know what I'm saying? To the end, or to Godzilla is almost done. And then we can have Kong come in the next movie. You know what I'm saying? And redeem Godzilla. And then Godzilla actually has to be his friend and not want to fight him when he sees him.
On sight, baby.
Other than that, man, I don't know, because it seems to be kind of really.
It's starting to run its course.
That's really it for this, and it's especially seeing how goofy this movie was in comparison to how the first couple of ones were, and also how Monarch the series is. I don't really know where you're gonna go from this.
Realistically, because how they had this movie go, they really didn't need this movie. They could have ended this with Godzilla versus King Kong.
Correct.
And they could have still had. They could have ended that movie in Hollow Earth where Godzilla found some more great apes.
Yeah, technically, yeah, you're right. You are right.
And they could have ended there. They really didn't need this movie. They could have ended the way this movie ended, minus the Skar King and Shimu and stuff, where King Kong doing Hollow Earth and he found some more great apes, and that could have been his home of homes. That could have been it. But
hey, I don't know, man. It's whatever. I hope if they do reboot this franchise or whatever, they take this in. You gotta add that sense of gravity, that depth that was there in the first two. You know what I'm saying? That has to be there. There has to be some sort of stakes, and especially in regards to humanity and human life. There was on some Zack Snyder levels of not caring about the humans in these scenes.
You mean Michael Bay too, for real?
Michael Bay as well, yeah.
Because it's for all intents and purposes, the humans in this movie basically were fodder.
Yeah, or comic relief.
Yeah, comic relief. So yeah. So I guess that's all we got for today.
That's all I got for this one, man. Yeah.
This is actually the second movie I've seen so far this year.
Yeah, me too. I think.
Yeah, because we saw Doom 2. This one. I still am going to try to watch Ghostbusters at some point. If not, I might just wait until it streams or whatever. But yeah. For those of y'all that's sat through this, we thank you. We appreciate you.
Definitely.
Y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, and share.
Oh, you also saw Man on Web.
You saw Man Web. I made that perfectly clear that I was not going to watch that movie.
No, but
yeah, but next time you will see us will be X-Men. Wednesday for X-Men, and then following that Thursday. No. Wednesday. Shogun or when we do Shogun Thursday?
Shogun Thursday.
Okay, yes, Shogun will be Thursday.
Oh yeah, this is be the third episode for Bad Batch, right?
Yep. So
Yeah. So Wednesday we'll so okay. So here's the drop.
okay.
X-Men Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Um Thursday we'll drop Bad Batch and Shogun. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
that'll work. I feel like there's enough separation between those two franchises. So to
Well,
warrant that. People
after,
on it's
after
yeah.
that, I don't know any. What's a movie coming out that's anticipated at this point? I think I can't really think of
I
anything.
don't know. I have to look that up
Yeah,
because
I gotta
like
look and
it's
see.
it's it's kind of sparse until the summertime, to be
Yeah, it's kind
honest.
of sparse in summertime. I I did see a preview for a movie. I think I did want to see the movie. I don't know if they showed this preview, this trailer, but I think it's supposed to be coming out like next week or something like that. The Civil War movie in the country.
Yeah, I did see that. I'm kind of on the fence
Yeah,
about that.
because I feel like that's gonna touch a little too close to home.
That's really why I'm like,
That's
oh,
really
like
why too. Yeah, I feel
this
you.
is
Yeah.
so I don't know who's directing this. Hold on, let me find out. So I'm a little curious to see who's directing this movie. So film yada. Alex Garland. What have you done, sir? He's done okay. So he's done. Pull the wiki for him. He's
28
done
days later,
Dread, Ex Machina,
he was a writer.
Annihilation.
He was the uncredited writer, and he was executive producer for 28 Weeks Later.
Yeah, so
Uh,
he's done like a lot of the A24 stuff. This is A24 film as
yeah,
well. That's like the only thing that I'm like, okay, like I might go see it. Because
yeah.
A24 usually even a lot of the stuff they do be bordering on like horror a
Mm.
lot. Like I'm like not watching that, but like
They
the other
making a
stuff
third.
is good. Like
Oh wow, they're making a third. So they got 28 days later, 28 weeks later, and they got a third one coming out
yeah, yeah,
28 years later.
yeah. I
Okay,
heard about that.
okay,
Yeah. I heard about
okay.
that.
Interesting.
Yeah, because Ex Machina, like I love that movie. That's a really good movie. You ever seen Ex Machina?
That's the thing with the robot chick,
Yeah,
right? Or something.
yeah.
I have not seen. I want to see it, but
That's a good
uh,
one. That's a
okay,
really
I'll
good one.
check.
You see a very unhinged Oscar Isaac in that. Like, yeah.
Okay, all right,
That
let
was
me
one of the
check
first
that.
times he was like, "Oh yeah, I saw I was gonna be playing Poe Dameron." I was like, "Check this out." I was like, "Oh yeah,
Okay,
he'll work." You know what I'm
okay.
saying? But yeah, that's all we got for this one, man. Again, like, share, subscribe, all the things, man. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, of course, Instagram as well. Yeah. Till next time.
Peace out, y'all.